All right, welcome to Anime Soiree. I'm Kyle. I'm here with Griffin and Will. Today we're discussing Chainsaw Man, a manga that ran in Shonen Jump. It just finished. It's pretty fucking insane, and I thought it was awesome. What did you guys think?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
loved it. I loved it. I like really like brutal and gory stuff, and would have been great to see it in color. I feel like some of the scenes would have been a lot more gruesome, but just the visceralness of it was like pretty refreshing.
Yeah, I agree. I really liked the action in it. The style of humor that it was really funny, especially like two of the main characters have pretty similar styles of humor and they play off each other pretty well with Power and Denji. And yeah, just like the overall tone of it was really great. It was kind of like you said, it was kind of refreshing. It's a very different tone. It still has like a bunch of serious moments, but like it seems like it plays off those serious moments a bit differently. And yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
gotta
I mean,
say, I just really like the dialogue as well. I
yeah,
like
same.
how like kind of oblivious and direct that Chainsaw Man or Denji comes off as. And yeah, no, I think he's really relatable, and his goals are simple. And I guess his background is simple, but he's just trying to figure out, I guess, why everyone's so complicated. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true,
Kind
but
of.
kind of. I don't know. I just like how simple
I
he
don't know if that's
is.
his goal to figure it out, but I think that like him like contrasting with everyone else because like he comes from a life where like he literally had nothing, right? So like any small happiness is just like the biggest possible deal for him. Like he's ecstatic when like at the beginning of the series when he like starts to be able to have 3 meals a day, right? So
Mhm.
like because he's just like so used to having nothing that like anything is just super exciting to him and like all of these other people that have like problems, he just, like, can't relate to because he's just, like, he's just happy to have food. So, like, that's what I really love about Denji is, like, by expecting nothing, he's just, like, ecstatic no matter, like, what happens.
Yeah, I think his background and his upbringing like really gives him that unique perspective. Like he's grew up super poor and like his dad was not he was in super big debt with the yakuza, so like he grew up also in that debt and like even after his dad dies, he's still in that debt. So like you said, he's like nothing to expect and so he has no like aspirations or goals really. So like he has to figure out what those are for him and those are sometimes as simple as touching a titty, but also like they can be more grandiose and that like unique perspective is very, very cool.
I know that
Yeah.
I'm jumping forward a bit, but I don't know. I feel like the scene where he went to the burger restaurant, where he was just like, like I want a burger, like I want to go on a date, was just like his like purest moment. When he was like the super chainsaw man, and
Yeah.
I feel like that was just Denji to the core of just like wanting very, very simple things, despite at that moment like probably being like the most powerful being like on the planet.
And it's literally in the middle of the final fight. He just takes a break.
Actually, I actually thought that was like Pochita being like I think that was actually like Pochita's like I thought the entire time he was in that form, it was like Pochita's like wants and needs and stuff. So like Pochita has like taken over his body at that point and been like, what does Pochita want? Oh, I want a burger or whatever. Oh, I want to dance or something like that. And like he's like basically Pochita's interpreting Denji's wants and needs at that point and acting off them. And then in like the very simplest, rawest form.
That could be the case. I don't know. There's a lot going on in this anime. I did not pick up every detail. That could be the
Yeah, I mean, I
case.
think it's intentionally ambiguous, but I feel like at that point, I kind of agree with Will that like I don't think that Denji was like completely in control of his actions. Like he killed lots of people
Yeah,
in
he
that
killed a bunch
scene,
of people at the burger
You know
place.
what?
but like I think that that was like running off of Denji's desires, right? Because like
Yeah.
he like had talked previously about like wanting like a good burger and like obviously he's like super excited about women, so like he would just like want to go on a date. So like I feel like it was kind of like it was like the fusion of both of them, but like it was running off of Denji's desires and it was just like the insanity and like the just like unchecked like rage, I guess, of Chainsaw Man.
Yeah. And like we get to see him like that is like that right there was like Chainsaw Man in his purest form, and then we get to see like a really cool at the very end fight. Like him separating from Pochita and like Pochita becomes like this almost meta Chainsaw Man with Denji being separated for a time being, and then like he's able to actually deal the killing blow to Makima from there. But yeah, that whole
Yeah.
like dynamic they have is very cool between the two, and like how they explore that during the fight scenes is pretty sick.
Yeah, you know
Yeah,
what?
I really
No, I was just gonna say I think you're right, Will, because in that final sequence, he's like, "Oh, I vaguely recall, like how he killed Makima with the like taking out his heart or whatever, and then being able to
mhm.
act. He's like, I vaguely remember being able to do that last time. So I
Yeah.
guess that kind of hints that he wasn't in full control. Yeah, I think you're right, actually.
Yeah. I love how, like, we w just, like, I love the dynamic of, like, that Pochita, like, literally becomes Denji's heart. It's, like, a really good way of, like
Yeah.
I mean, we had, like, seen their relationship, like, up until that point, and, like, Pochita was, like, literally all that Denji had, but Pochita, like, literally becoming Denji's heart is, like, a really good way to, like, make us care even more about their relationship, even
Well,
though, like, we don't really see much of Pochita throughout the story, but it's just, like, knowing that he's always there with Denji is, like it's good.
yeah, and especially because like when Pochita first like you think like he gives his life to save Denji, but
Mhm.
like I think there's like an offhand comment by one of the characters. He's like, "Oh yeah, Pochita fused with me, so he'll always be with me or whatever. Like he saved my life, he'll always be with
Uh-huh.
me." And I think one of the characters literally says like, "Nope, Pochita's dead. It's nice that you think that, but Pochita's dead."
Yeah, it was
Like,
Power that
nope,
said that, yeah.
you're wrong. Like he's literally his heart, which is really cool.
Yeah. Well, because she thinks that it's just, like, because Denji's like, "No, Pochita will always be in my heart," and she's like, "Oh, that's just, like, something that humans say to cope." But,
Yeah.
like, it's actually true, like, Pochita is Denji's heart.
Also, the whole Denji Pochita dynamic is very good contrast with like Makima and like her constant theme of like somebody being her dog or like actually her literal dogs, because
Mhm.
like Denji is her dog throughout the entire but like 97 chapters, 96
Yeah.
chapters, and that contrast with like how I guess how free Pochita is compared to that situation, because like Pochita is part of Denji, but like at the same time he doesn't it doesn't feel like Pochita's in the same almost like slavery situation that Denji seems to get himself into towards the end of the manga, whereas
Yeah,
like
they're sort of
literally
treating
the
each other as
domination devil,
equals.
yeah,
Yeah.
literally the domination devil just basically enslaves him. So
Yeah.
um, yeah, the running theme of like dogs and subservience is very interesting. An interesting one that I don't think I've seen explored very much. I think Violet Evergarden had a little bit with like her not knowing what to do without anybody, and I think Denji talks about that even like he's like, no, I just want to live my life the rest of the time, just have somebody tell me what to do all the time.
Yeah,
And
that's, like, Denji's lowest moment, yeah.
yeah, that was a pretty sad moment.
Yeah. Yeah, basically, like, the entire time, like, basically everything that Denji did, I completely agreed with, but, like, when he said, like, "I wanna be your dog," I was like, "Oh god, no,
Yeah.
Denji, don't do this."
I mean, it makes sense though, just because
Oh,
like it's
yeah,
uh,
no,
it's
I
it's
think it's, like, a good
overwhelming.
good writing. Yeah, it's good writing for sure because it makes sense for his character, like, but I was just like, "Oh god, Denji, no." Like, not for Makima, not for anyone, but yeah.
God.
I guess we could talk about Makima next, because she's kind of like yeah, I mean, she's kind of introduced like, I really like how Makima's role in the story kind of, like, progressively, like, changes, like, it starts out where she's kind of, like I mean, she's never presented as, like, completely good, like, and, like, she's, like, looking out for Denji's best interest, like, from the beginning, like, she says, like, "You will be my dog," so, like, it's clear that she, like, sees Denji as a tool, but, I like how we kind of, like, progressively, like, learn more and, like, begin to suspect more and more about Makima until, like, the end, where we, like, learn that she is, like, the control devil or the domination devil,
Yeah.
which is pretty sick. Like, I really liked like, throughout the just the experience of wondering, like, what Makima's deal was, like, what devil she had. Um, yeah, it was really good, especially from, like, when she, like, got shot and then she just, like, was fine after.
Yeah. I
And then,
think I
like,
think
also
go ahead.
oh, go ahead.
No, go
I
you
was
go
just
ahead.
gonna say the scene, like, where she just, like, brings all of the prisoners who had, life sentences to, like, the monastery, and she just, like, tells them to, like, she just t tells them to, like, say a name, and then she just, like, crushes them, and, like, across the world, like, some or, like, across Japan, like, just one of, like, the bad guys is just like, "Oh god," like, something really bad is about to happen, and then he just gets flattened, like, he's
Yeah.
just like, oh my god, like, so fucking cool. That shit was wild and really had me speculating on what Makima's power could be
Yeah, I think
and,
that
like,
was
what her
probably
deal
like
was.
my first oh shit moment of the anime or the manga, like because like the entire time you're like you said, you're wondering like what's Makima's deal? How did she escape that one thing? Like what's she about to do to like get revenge on these people that just killed so many people? And
Mhm.
then like Hand of God just absolutely
Yeah.
demolishing, crushing in a brutal manner these henchmen. Um and yeah, like you said, like we're the entire time we're wondering what she is, and I feel like every happy moment that Denji has with Makima, like going to the movie theaters and like everything, I feel like it's always paired with like somebody being like, "Yo, you gotta be careful about Makima. Like something's up
Mhm.
with her. She's not something you want to just play with and like be friends with. Like she's a very dangerous person." And like we get to see what's his face being like, he's like talking to the one of the hitmen, and he's like, "I need to kill Makime. Like she can't hear us right now. I need your help." Um, yeah, like it's the ambiance and the absolute just like uh, it's like almost a horror element of like, oh shit, what the fuck is Makima? Like, what's she gonna
Yeah.
do?
I
It's
Yeah, exactly.
I
pretty
feel
well done.
I feel like Makima to me kind of just like summarizes like Denji's like entire experience into like the actual world, and that it's like pretty fucking disappointing. Even going back to when he wanted to touch a boob, when he finally got to do it, he's like, this shit is just like not that good, I guess. Like I just touched a
Yeah.
boob, but it's not that
I mean,
good.
because it was all, like, transactional, you know? It was, like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
literally, like, there was no intimacy there. It was just like, "You did me a favor, and I said previously that I would let you touch my boob, so here it is." And then
yeah.
also that moment was great with, like, the where she, like, has, like, the pads.
yeah.
She's, like, taking off, like, her bra, and then she, like, brings out these things, and then she's like, "What are those?" And she's like, "Oh, they're breast pads. They make your boobs look bigger."
But also, didn't she like just take a shit? She was like on the toilet.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I just wanted to
I love
say
how
that.
Power always shits with the door open.
Yeah,
I,
and she doesn't flush.
yeah, I just think that Makima's like relationship with Denji is like very similar. Like it's very obviously subservient, but I think
Mhm.
transactional is like a very good word. I mean, like for him and her, she's using him because he has something to offer, and the reality is that the relationship they had at the end, like it didn't end with him, coming away with any, I guess, value from it. At least Makima, until after she was like reborn as whatever Yato or something. So I don't know. I feel like it just goes to show that I guess I don't know. I feel like that's just kind of poking at that you kind of have to have some kind of relationship with another person. I don't know if you're going to expect like a good outcome with them. I guess if you're gonna set expectations for someone, you should get to know them first. I
Yeah.
guess is
Yeah,
the
I'm but
message.
yeah, but I kinda feel like Makima in some ways, like, does, like, show that because I mean, after, like, the whole thing with Power, with, like, the him feeling empty after touching her boobs, like, he goes and sees Makima, and Makima's like, "Oh, like, I heard about your thing with Power." And then he's like, "Yeah, it kinda sucked." And then she's like, "Oh, but, like, that's not, like, how it's supposed to be, like, you're supposed to, like, have feelings for the person." And she kind of, like, foreplays him a little bit and, like,
Yeah.
doesn't really, like he doesn't really expect it, and she just sort of, like, slides his hand, like, on her breast, and then it's like, "Oh, shit," like, Denji's, like, actually feeling something because, like, there's, like, intimacy, there's, like, actual feelings here. So, I mean, yeah, she was, like, manipulating him in that moment, but I do kind of think that she was, like she did show him something that's, like, real, and it's, like, basically, like, what I feel like what you're trying to say, like, like, intimacy is important, and it's not just about, like it's not just about getting what you want, but it's about, like, getting what you want with the right person and, like, someone that you know and, like, you actually care about. Now, like, obviously, like, Denji was being manipulated the whole time, but, I do kinda think that Makima wants, like she is, like, all she didn't just wanna control Denji, like, at the end, she was saying she was, like, a fan of Chainsaw Man, and, like, she, like, wanted I think she wanted to be they say at the end that, like, she never really had anyone that she could, like, see as an equal, and that's why she was able to dominate everyone because she thought she was better than everyone. So I think that she kind of wants someone that can be on equal ground with her, but she just, like, hasn't been able to find them.
Well,
And,
yeah,
so she's yeah.
we got her backstory like very briefly, like one line. She was like, "Yeah, we fought in the past in hell or something, and I beat
Mhm.
you, or you had to flee to Earth." And that's where we see Pachito like the first time, and he's like wounded, and like Denji helps him.
Yeah.
Um, and so yeah, Makima's still looking for that equal, and or
Yeah.
somebody that can either be equal or beat her. Um, and yeah, that's her whole goal. It's like looking for the strongest fighter in the land. That's pretty. I think it's a kind of a common trope, but I like how it was done here because
Ye
just there was so much
yeah.
mystery about actually how strong Makima was.
And I just
Yeah.
like the way that Makima like kind of like I don't know uses the world to achieve that goal. Like it seems very efficient, and it seems like if you were that powerful, like it's a pretty a reasonable way to go about finding like somebody who's your equal is just control as many people as possible until somebody like fights back. Pretty smart.
Also, her powers
Yeah,
were
yeah.
so cool. Like she had like the puppets of all the people like that had been in the bureau and stuff. Super cool.
Yeah, so sick. And like how like with the she's like, "Oh, I have a deal with the prime minister where like whenever somebody would attack me and it would kill me, um, some random person in Japan dies of like an accident or an illness
Yeah.
or something." Which is like super sick. So she's basically like she can't be killed, which is like and just like the fact that like it's not just like, oh, she's a bullshit immortal character. There's like an actual human cost to like
Yeah.
this and like people are just dying more when people attack Makima, which is cool. Like,
And you see
I
that in
think that
the
yeah.
you see that in the final fight. It's not like random people, but like Denji would like chop off her head, and then one of the people that she was controlling, their head get chopped off, and then Makima's head
Yeah.
would go back on. So super cool.
Oh yeah, that's right. That explains that scene. I was okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Holy shit! I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, no. Like her yeah, Makima is I think she's a great villain, because it's
Great,
like
really good.
it's great because 'cause you're not even sure, like, if she's the villain or not for a lot of it, and then, like, by the time you sort of, like, slowly start to realize, it's just, yeah, it's really good. It's really good
Yeah, like
shit.
she's been in control the
And
whole
she's
time.
also, like, a character. She's not just, like, a villain, like, that's, like like, if this was, like, as straightforward as it was presented originally, where it was just, like, the Gun Devil is the big bad, it just wouldn't be as interesting because, like, the
Yeah,
Gun Devil would just be like, "Oh, it's just another devil to take down." But, yeah, this is, like, a lot yeah. I really like that fake out that they pull with the Gun Devil too. Like, I love how it's presented, how they're like, "Oh, like, well, first off, I love how the devils are stronger based on how, like, scary the concept is, like, how much people are afraid of them. And so it's like, obviously, the gun devil is, like, one of the most powerful devils in the world. And I love how they talk about how, like, in order to, like, make the gun devil less powerful, the governments would, like, they would, like they had, like, laws that, like, there couldn't be as many guns in movies and stuff, and they would, like, clamp down on, like, advertisements for guns and stuff. So,
well, they
like,
banned
literally
like
just, like
guns in every country, right?
yeah, and, like, it's basically just, like a psyop to make guns less scary to, like, weaken the gun devil, which is, like,
Yeah,
super cool and, like, a really good, like, a natural consequence for this, like, power system of just, like, oh, the more people are afraid of it, the more powerful the devil is. Like, I thought that was super cool.
Yeah,
and
that is cool.
I like the very brief glimpse we got into like the really old devils. I think they were called primeval devils or something. And one of them's just darkness, and it's like that's such like a primal fear to have.
Yeah.
Like yeah, guns and chainsaws are scary, but like darkness, it's like that makes so much sense to be like an OG devil.
Yeah, I love
Dude
how Chainsaw Man just like lit himself on fire to
Yeah,
fight
yeah. It's like, "I am light. Light
it.
beats darkness." Yeah, like, I love how Denji fights on, like, those terms, like, on just, like, the simplest possible like, he's just, like, so dumb, and, like, he doesn't fight, like I mean, he kind of, like, a little bit, like, learns to, like, fight smart, but, like, not really, like, he's just, like he's just he's just doing Denji, and that was great.
it
But yeah,
reminded
dude,
me a
that
lot of. Go sorry, go
okay.
ahead.
No, I was gonna, like, go off on a complete tangent,
It
so
it
you can
reminded me a lot of like Doom Guy, like local man
Oh,
taking over the
yeah.
guy. Like doesn't really care about the whole ordeal that's going on around him. Like he doesn't he's not too invested in the Gun Devil, except that it would allow him to get with Makima. But like he's just going around killing devils.
Yeah, so fucking sick. Yeah. I love how, like yeah, I love the scenes, like, when Chainsaw Man is going crazy, and there's just, like it's just, like, scribbles all over the page. Like, the art is definitely not the selling point of the manga, but, like, it gets super, like, detailed when, like, there's, like, crazy shit happening, and it's not usually for, like it's not because there's, like, a lot of, like, intricate details, it's just that it's, like, literally just, like, a lot of strokes on the page because there's, like, blood gushing out of everywhere and shit like
Yeah.
that, which is pretty sick.
It's kind of hard to see what's going on. I'm not gonna lie, but I definitely get the vibe. And then like
Yeah.
some panels, I'm like, okay, I think Devilman killed him. Looking at this panel, like I think that Devilman, I think Chainsaw Man killed him. Looking at this panel, and then I'll go to the next panel, and be like, yeah, he killed him. He killed him.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically the all you need to know for
Yeah,
most of the fights in
yeah.
here, like, I mean, yeah, most of the fights are it's not really about the actual action, it's more about, like, the ideas behind the fight, which, like, most of that comes from just, like, the devils, like, being, like, really inventive or weird, and, like, that's what, like, kind of brings out, like, the appeal of the fights. It is just, like, that the devils are really crazy. Yeah.
I love that scene with Denji and Power like in the apartment right before like Aki like was turned into like a gun, what is it called, a gun
Gun fiend.
He's like the gun
gun feet.
fiend, like the gun devil man, yeah.
Yeah,
They
and
call
Denji's like, go take the dog for a walk, Power. And she's like, I'll go take a dog for a walk off the balcony.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Just
thought that
like,
was like a pretty good scene because like it goes from really funny to really serious like really quick. Like Power
Oh,
like
yeah.
understands the gravitas of the situation, and then you're like, damn, we're seeing Power like serious right now, and Denji's like, Power, you need to leave right now, and like yeah,
Yeah,
that
dude,
scene
that
was
that that
super
was, like,
good.
when sh yeah. Dude, that was when, like, Chainsaw Man became just like, "Holy shit." Like, I didn't
Yeah.
know I could feel from Chainsaw Man.
Also,
Yeah,
you
like,
get
with,
like
with
the motif of him fearing the door from his childhood, like don't open that door, and like
uh-huh.
that comes up even later. I think maybe it was with Makima, or maybe it was earlier. I can't remember, but like it comes back throughout it, and like it just adds so much gravitas to the whatever situation that it appears in.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it's always like I kind of thought, like, that it was gonna be connected to, like, hell in some way, because when they go to hell, it's like, there's, like, all the doors and shit, but it was like it wasn't like a literal connection, but I feel like it's kind of like a thematic one, or just,
Mhm.
like, maybe an aesthetic one,
I think
but,
that we should talk about Power for a bit. It's
yeah, we
because
should definitely talk
I
about power.
really,
Power and Aki both.
I really fucking like Power. I like that her
Yeah.
Yeah.
introduction was like her trying to kill Denji to like save her cat. And I was like, wow,
Uh-huh.
like fuck this chick. And then like a couple panels or maybe a couple chapters later, I'm not sure. And she was like, okay, like I did that because like my cat is like my only friend. So like I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And then, over time she becomes like, basically at the end of the manga, she's like, you know what, Denji, like you're my only friend. And like, she basically helps him beat Makima by like giving him her blood, and like she is just like super super ruthless. Her name is Power, which is like super perfect. Her character design's really good. The only thing I wish we saw a little bit more of her ability, because I think that like basically controlling blood is like pretty cool.
Yeah.
I wish we see more
Yeah,
of
I
that.
agree
Yeah,
with
I
that.
I I like how we see, like we see some of it, like, I like how she, like, when in the training arc with, what's his name? The master guy? Shit, I can't remember. But, like, when they're, like, in the training arc with him, like, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna, like, fight smart today," and, like, which is, like, really funny because they're, like, literally so dumb, like, that's what I love about, like, Denji and Power is that they're just so stupid, and so, like, when they're like, "Alright, like, tomorrow we're gonna fight with our brains, it's gonna be a high IQ fight," and so, they actually do, set up, like, a trap and shit, and it was working, like, with Power, like, having, like, her blood in, like, jars, like, above the door so that she could, like, use it to, like, stab the master when he, like, entered the door. That was pretty sick. And then also I really like how in the end, when she, like, becomes, like, super powered from, like, basically having, like, Denji's blood mixed with hers, that, she starts, like, making, like, blood explode out of people and, like, swords and shit. which was like
Oh
pretty
yeah,
fucking
that was
awesome to
so
see.
cool. That was one of my
Yeah,
favorite scenes actually, with just like 1,000 swords and like Makima.
yeah, so sick.
Yeah, I think I'd have to say Power is my favorite character. And I think a lot of people's favorite characters. There's like a character popularity
Yeah, I
poll like
saw that.
halfway through,
Yeah.
and she was number
Yeah,
one. Just I don't know, like you said, she plays off Denji so well just because they're both so stupid, and
yeah,
like they can relate to each other that way, and that like they seem to be kind of just oblivious to the whole thing going on, but like when they get serious, and like yeah, like you said, Power's ultimate form was super cool. And like a side note, I love how the forms of the devils all looked like relatively consistent. Like they all had like the sharp teeth, and then on top of their head, like either it's a chainsaw or a sword or like
Oh my
spikes or
god. Yeah,
whatever.
the devil
And
design is insane. It's
or
so
like
good.
like
yeah.
beams like shark head look like fit really well. And yeah, just like yeah, the design and like the consistency with the design while still making them look unique was super cool. But yeah, Power, back to Power. Her whole like deal with the cat at the beginning, like you said, I was like, she just betrayed Denji. I don't like this chick, but like they managed to just make her my favorite character.
Yeah,
Her constantly yelling like, "I am Power. I am the greatest warrior of all time."
yeah.
Just being just ridiculous. So great.
I love how like I feel like one of the first moments that I knew that I really loved Power was like they're like I think it's in the bar scene. Well, okay, actually no, that then it wasn't my first one because like I really liked when she was talking about the Nobel Prize and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna
Oh
fucking
yeah.
like I'm just thinking about the Nobel Prize and I'm gonna win the Nobel Prize." And like that that was pretty great. And then like and then but when they like leave that like hotel thing where they're like stuck there for a while, and like they're at the bar with like the other like new recruits and stuff, and Power's basically just like they're talking about like I think she brought up the Nobel Prize again, and she's like, and she's like, oh yeah, I'm like super smart, and then someone brought up IQs. She was like, yeah, I think mine was like 100 or something, and they're like, I don't know, that's like not that big, and then this one guy was like, oh yeah, I think mine was like 130 something. And then Power goes like, "No, mine was actually like 200 or 500." It was just like it was just a great like I was just like, "Okay, Power, you're pretty awesome." Like, I love how she just like is constantly like she basically is always trying to like put herself in the most convenient situation for her to be in, you know? Like how okay, like I think one of the maybe the best Power moment is like in at the beginning of the arc where like everyone's hunting Denji where there's like four different squads hunting Denji and like Kobeni, like she's like, "Oh, I got like my new car and shit." And and she's like, "Oh, Power's like, "Can I like get in the car? Can I like drive the car and shit?" And Kobeni's like, "Yes." And so she's like not excited about it because like it's fucking Power. And they're like one at this point in the story, like one of the dudes has like one of like the guys that is trying to kill Denji has like infiltrated and like has like he's basically like disguised as someone else. He like contracted with a skin devil, so he's like a perfect disguise. And so like Power's like in the car and she just like basically accelerates and like hits Denji and the other dude who are like talking. And Denji's obviously fine because he's the chainsaw man, but like the other dude is just fucking dead. And like Power, like she's like her and Kobeni are like freaking out in the car and she just looks at Kobeni and she goes, "This is your car. This is not my responsibility. This is all your fault." And, and then like and then once they realize they're like, "Oh shit, this guy just like his skin changed, like he's someone else now. Like I think this guy must have been like infiltrating us." Then Power's like, "I am a fucking genius. I called this and none of you guys knew it, and I fucking did this on purpose." That was just so fucking good. Like,
I love her getting in the car and just being like, "This is my car now."
yeah.
When she turned into the like chainsaw man power hybrid, she at one point just said like, "I'm the first president." It's just like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're not the first president.
Yeah. I remember. I was just like, "What the fuck, Power?"
I don't remember exactly what Denji asked, but Denji asked like I think something about like drinking random people's blood, maybe. And then she was like, "If I was president, I would make it legal," or something super stupid like that. She definitely
Yeah.
has the best dialogue Denji's a close second for sure, but hers is just like it's pretty good.
Yeah, no, her and Denji are just like a joy to watch. Like I love every scene where they're just like bouncing off of each other and being retarded. It's so good.
I think another like I don't know. The one thing that really stuck out to me about this manga was just like how many good small characters there are. Like you've got your main ones with Denji, Aki, Makima, and Power, but then like there's like so many small characters. Like I love Beam. Beam is like
Yeah.
the ultimate Denji simp. He's like Master Chainsaw, please. And then you've got like the Angel Devil's really cool. You've got the Violence guy who's like got a really cool backstory, and he's got like a cool relationship with Kobemi. Kobemi herself is really cool. Just so many like great smaller characters that like stick out and
Reezy.
like
Reezy was a
who?
pretty good
Oh yeah,
Oh
character.
yeah,
yeah.
Reezy or yeah, Reez or Reezy. Yeah, I don't know how you say it.
Rezi, yeah, I don't know.
She was super cool and like she had like an interesting little arc that ended kind of tragically.
Mhm.
But yeah, like I said, oh Himeno at the beginning, like I was hoping that she wouldn't die so fast because she was literally like, hey, let's be friends, Denji, and then she like dies like 2 chapters later.
Yeah, yeah,
Very
yeah,
sad.
that was rough. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love how she vomits in Denji's mouth. That was good.
That was pretty funny. Oh my god. Let's see. What else should we talk about? I mean, I
Um,
kind of want to talk about like the devil design like a little bit. I guess just the art in general. I know it's not the absolute selling point, but it's just fucking hilarious to me because like in my D&D campaign, like just a part of my character is I like collect staffs. Um
mhm.
and like they're like, Griffin, you can only use 2 staffs. And I was like, well, what if I tape one to the back of my head? And so like when I saw Chainsaw Man, it reminded me a lot of my
Oh.
D&D character. I'm like, this is fucking epic. But
Yeah.
I just like how like carefree and like how the design, although like, you know, I guess like it wouldn't be usable for a normal human. Like they really just went all out with just like how can we make this devil look as dangerous as humanly possible, and really really solid. Only complaint is in the manga when like new agents come in, I'm like, dude, like you look like the last 3 agents that I just saw, so I don't really know who you are. And at some point, I just accepted it, and I'm like, it's not a main character, just a side agent. Let's just see what
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
happens.
probably gonna die.
I think they actually that I feel like that's intentional because there was like one part in the like everyone's trying to kill Denji arc where like because that was like an arc where they were really just like introducing
It was
so
the
many
most
new
confusing
characters.
arc. It was so
Yeah.
confusing.
But like a lot of them are just like, they're bad guys and then they like lose to other bad guys. And so by the end, there's like not that there's like only like two factions left really. But like when they're like bringing in new agents all the time, there's like one time where like a guy shows up and he's like, you guys haven't met me yet, but like I'm a new agent and like, I'm here to help. And like he doesn't even finish introducing himself before he's killed.
Oh
And that's just like I
yeah.
feel like, like that's just like emblematic of like the tone of that arc where everyone is just like fucking dying all over the place. Like people are being introduced just to die. Um, and so like I feel like you're not really supposed to know like all of the agents. Like there are definitely some that like I didn't really pick up on the first time, but then like the second because I read through it twice. And like the second time, I was like, "Oh, like these guys are like from before." But like for the most part, like most of the agents are like pretty disposable.
Yeah,
So I
I
don't think that you
recognize
really miss anything by not.
I
Yeah.
recognize the guys, the 2 guys with the scars over their nose,
Yeah.
because they were
Yeah.
in from a previous chapter, but then they like die immediately in the like the Hitman
Car
chapter.
ambush.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
But
They're
yeah,
who like the skin devil people are
yeah,
impersonating.
back to the devil design discussion. Like some of the devils just look so cool, but like also so ridiculous. Like especially the gun devil. It's just like
So
okay, it's got like
cool.
the classic head of a devil that's just like a big gun basically, and then its
Uh-huh.
arms are it just looks like AKs and
It's
M16s
just
and
a
like sniper
huge
rifles just all
mass.
taped together.
And then he's just got like the
So
faces of like 1,000 people like all over his
Yeah,
chest.
and his legs are like bullets and stuff, and I don't
So
know that
cool.
dude.
that whole chapter with him being introduced and like it's like 4 pages of just names that he kills.
Oh my god,
Oh
that was
yeah.
perfect.
It was
That
so
was
cool.
so sick. Like just
Yeah.
like the names, like they just keeps going. And I think it, like it it's like it ends the chapter with names, and then the next chapter starts with more names. Like it's just
Yeah.
like holy shit. Like yeah, just really good way to sell you on the impact that like the Gun Devil showing up has. Yeah, super cool. There are like so many
Also,
great entrances of devils like that.
yes. Also, something Kyle and I have talked about, the future devil is one of the best devils, maybe my favorite devil. He's literally just all about the future. He's like, I don't even want to. You don't have to give me anything. I just want to see how you die, because you die in the most gruesome way possible. Also, the future is sick. The future is
Yeah.
so cool. And like
Yeah.
you see him later, he shows up for like legit like 1 or 2 pages, maybe less. And he shows up and like the first thing he says is, "The future is so sick," and it's just like I love the future devil. He was hilarious.
I
I
love
love there was
how
like one part where like Aki was trying to ask the future devil for like clarification on
this
the
is what I
future,
was gonna
and the
say.
future devil's like, say the future is cool. Just say the
That's
future is
what I was
cool.
gonna say. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
my favorite scene of his. I love that one. That was so
That
good.
was so good.
And also he just like started laughing at one point. He was just like, God, he's
Yeah.
definitely my favorite.
um, I guess we could talk about Aki. I guess. I mean, of the
Yeah, we haven't really talked about
MCs,
Aki.
like he's probably my least favorite. I definitely feel for.
Really?
I definitely feel for him. But I mean, like I don't know. He's pretty moody. He's definitely like the fact that he's living, like knowing he's gonna die very very soon, is a very interesting idea for a character. But I don't know. His ability is interesting too. That like every time he uses his like super special sword, like his life gets shortened, and then like his pact with the future devil is also cool. But I don't know. He's a little bit too moody for me, and I think he's important to be there, but I don't have as much fun when he's on the screen when Power or Denji are there. But I think all three of them together when they went on that trip, that was a lot of fun. Just like watching all three of them. It was like the straight man and then the clowns.
I
Yeah,
really liked him as like the straight man, and like the entire situation with them living with him, like them kind of growing as a trio was really nice.
hmm
And I think it was good for his character. I definitely got the moody vibe when I first introduced him, but by the time he gets killed off, like he was one of my probably top 3 characters. Like, I really liked Aki. I liked his story. I liked his relationship with Himeno a lot. I thought that was pretty well done. And I was almost disappointed by the time. I mean, it plays into Makima's like whole strength, because she's the control devil, she's the domination devil. And I think like right before Aki dies, or like pretty close before he dies, somebody's like, "Oh, you like Makima?" And he's like, "How couldn't I?" Or something like that. And I was like, "Oh
hmm
no, Himeno just got cucked by Makima."
That's what I knew. That's what I knew for a
Yeah.
fact, that Makima was like about to kill everybody. I was like,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah. That
was.
was like a point of no return for Aki right there.
Yeah. But yeah, by the time he was like killed off, and like, I really liked Aki. I thought he had grown a lot as a character, and like I didn't see him as just like that moody, like classic edgy anime character. He had like grown with Power and Denji, and like kind of had an understanding with them.
Yeah, I love like, he has a lot of really, really great moments, like, I love the moment, when he, like, avenges, Himeno with, like, how the curse devil is, like because the girl with the snake devil, like, took over she now has a contract with the curse devil as
Oh
well,
yeah.
and so, like, he's, like, fighting her, and, like, the curse devil has, like, a bunch of I think it has, like, it has a bunch of hands, right? Like, and one of them just, like, extends out, and it, like, gives Aki, like, the cigarette,
Yeah,
and it just says, "Easy revenge," and, like, the cigarette is kind of, like, a symbol of, like, him and, like, Himeno's, like, relationship and stuff in their past, and so I love how, like, at that point, he just fucking, like, one-shots the curse devil because he remembers something that, like, Himeno had told him about the curse devil, which is, like, the cursed devil like can sense fear and like that's how it like wins is like it knows where you are based on your fear and he was just not afraid so he just fucking killed the cursed devil like that was a really cool moment and then also like at the end of that arc like kind of like completing his revenge for Himeno was like the was when was when they like take turns like him and Denji have the tournament at the end with like kicking the katana man in the balls. Like that was pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah,
Like
that
they're
was a
just
great
like
moment.
I love how he's like initially reluctant. He's like, no, this isn't what Himeno would want. But he's also like, no, but Himeno would want me to be happy, and this is what I want.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna kick him in the balls. Like that was really sick. Like that's a scene that I can't wait to see like the anime for because like I'm just like their laughs and like like his like yelps of pain. Like that's just gonna be really good. I'm excited for that. But
Yeah.
then yeah, like also like I love how he like starts out like his thing is like I'm going to get revenge on the gun devil, like I'm going to kill the gun devil, like that's my whole thing. But then like by the end he like asks to be removed from the mission to kill the gun devil because like he wants Power and Denji to be safe and he's like this is the best way to protect them. So like I love how he like basically starts out as that like generic like anime pro tag that's like just after revenge and then he like grows past it and is basically like ascended at the end. And like, but by that point, it was like he was gonna die because like, no one has that much character development without being killed, especially in a manga like this where everyone fucking dies.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Uh,
I really like Daki.
and the moment at the end, like towards the end of Aki's time when they're talking, I think they're talking with Himono's sister, and they find like the letters between her and her sister, and like a lot of them are about like, how do I get Aki to start smoking or like quit smoking or something like that? Like,
Hmm.
how do I get Aki to quit the force or something like that? And it's just like, oh my god, so sad.
Yeah.
It just impacted the death of him so much more,
I love
and Himeno's.
how I was just gonna say, like, I love how often they bring up like people just like, well, why don't you just quit? Like, you should just quit and live like a safe life, and then they're always just like, well, what's the point in that? And
Uh-huh.
I just love how that just shows like their commitment to something that they think is important at the very least. Like they're not afraid of just like no one here wants to live an easy life. They understand what they're doing has a purpose, and for Aki, it was revenge, and then it was his friends, and for Chainsaw Man, or I guess Denji, he wanted to go on a date with Makima, but turned into something bigger. I maybe I guess for Power, I guess she kind of had to be there, so either that or they killed her, right? So I guess for
Yeah, a lot of the
Devils, it's
devils didn't really have a choice in the matter, but yeah.
pretty I like how they brought that up a lot, like why don't you just quit, because like this is pretty brutal. But the
Hmm.
brutality of the anime for sure is pretty extreme. And there's one more thing I want to bring up. I was kind of disappointed because there's like quite a few naked people, and I'm like, if you're gonna show me like this much gore and this much brutality, just like show me a titty, just show me a boob, just show
I mean,
me a
they did.
full.
They just didn't have the nip.
I know, but it's just like, dude, like if you're gonna show me like two people making out and one of them gets their tongue bitten off, like I know it's like a pretty minute gore detail, but that's like pretty gruesome.
And like during
Yeah.
Rize's arc, like there was like a full like occasionally they have like the full color first chapter or first frame, and one of them was just like Rize and Makima like
Yeah.
sitting there and fucking play.
Yeah.
It was just
Yeah.
like, okay.
It is said, which one would you choose? And I was like,
And
oh
then yeah, and
shit.
then the one hitman had her like harem or whatever, and like that was another color one.
Yeah. Dude, okay, like I actually like I fucking love the whole thing with her like lesbian harem. And like I love how like all of them like I love how when the because she works with the Chinese government, like the Chinese government dude comes up and he's like, all right, like we gotta like, you're on this mission to kill Chainsaw Man. And then she like asks all of like her devil man girls, like she's like, all right, like what do you guys want? And they all say like ridiculous shit. Like one of them's like, oh, I want like a bunch of donuts. The other one's like I want to like drink everyone's blood. And then one of them just says Halloween. And then she's like, okay, like give them rights and give them education. Like I love
Yeah.
how like I love how she's just like she like genuinely wants like a better life for her girls. Like that was that was a really good moment. But also just like the Halloween thing.
Yeah,
Like
it was
that was
so
like
cool.
probably I fucking love how like basically like this entire time there's just this Halloween devil man who's just like all she can say is Halloween. And then like later on, like there's this whole thing with like the puppet, the lady like who's actually Santa Claus and is like contracted with the puppet devil. She like fuses with the darkness devil, or she gets like a contract with the darkness devil or whatever. Or was it the dark
It
uh
was darkness.
Yeah, it
Yeah, it was
was.
darkness. Yeah. And so like she's like, "How are you gonna beat me? Like I have so many puppets. Like there's no way. Like if you kill this body, I'm just gonna like respawn in one of my other puppets' bodies. I already have like millions of puppets." And then like this Halloween like devil man who like all she's basically just been a comic relief character the entire time. She just like does like a kamehameha with like, and she says Halloween, and then she's just like in this fucking like pocket dimension that's like like a massive infinite library full of books, and then she's like, "Oh, like, hello, welcome to my attack. Like, I am now going to like download all of the knowledge of the entire universe into your brain." And the thing is, when you know everything about the universe, like when you have the entire sum of the universe's knowledge, the only thing that you can say, the only thing that comes to mind is Halloween. And
Yeah.
then literally all of the puppet people are just like they're just saying Halloween. Like everyone is just saying Halloween. There's like millions of people across the world who can only say Halloween. That was fucking sick. Like it's such like a cool like it's cool how it's like set up as a joke and you like don't even think that this is gonna be like a serious thing. And then it becomes like the like the arc ending attack. And the fact that it was used on this particular devil that had like puppets across the entire world meant that it's like its effects were just like so much bigger because like it was just like on such a greater scale. That was like probably that was one of, if not my favorite moment in Chainsaw Man. Like that was so
Yeah.
fucking sick.
Was that
Yeah, it
that
was
was the
cool.
Cosmic Devil, right? That
Yeah,
did
yeah,
that?
the devil of the cosmos. Yeah,
Yeah, that's like such a cool thing because like when you think about it, the cosmos is fucking scary. Like
yeah,
just like the thought of like not even knowing everything in the universe, but like the thought of how much stuff there is to know in the universe by itself is scary. And just like the sheer
yeah,
size of it and everything. So like it makes sense that the cosmic devil or the cosmos devil would be this strong. Like, yeah, like you said, it's one of the coolest moments when you realize like, oh shit, the Halloween thing is like really
yeah.
broken.
Yeah, that was a
Like
cool, inventive ending for sure. I like that a
Yeah.
lot.
yeah, like the fact that it was like cosmic horror and comedy like combined in one thing was fucking great.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that shit I love where like you don't even think that it's foreshadowing, you just think it's a joke, but then it's like actually is like serious. Like that's really good shit.
Let's see. What else have we not talked about? We talked about most of the characters by now.
Um, I mean, there's another moment that I really liked. I really like where like shit hits the fan on like after shit has already hit the fan, like shit hits another fan that's like even higher, where when like they all get teleported into hell, like during the everyone kill Denji arc.
Yeah.
Um, and like they all just like they're all in darkness and there's like doors everywhere. And then one of what's her name? The Chinese lady, it's like Quan
Quan Chi.
Chi. One of her like devils is just like, "Can I kill myself now? Can I
Yeah,
please kill
yeah,
myself?" And it's just like, "Holy shit, like what the fuck is gonna happen?" And then like the darkness devil shows up. He just like one of the doors from the ceiling just opens, and then the darkness devil just like drips out, and like you have all this like trippy imagery of like rotting hands and like bugs and stuff, and then like the fucking coolest page in the whole manga where there's like the astronauts that are like chopped in half and
so cool.
they're like their torsos on one side and their legs are on another, and like apparently the number of astronauts in that panel in that page are the is that's the same number as the amount of astronauts that have died in space in real life.
Huh.
Hmm.
So, yeah, like, pretty sick, and then also just, like, the Darkness Devil has, like, a really fucking cool design, and, like, everyone, like, immediately loses their arms when he shows up. Like, yeah, super fucking cool. Like, that's another, like that's probably the best, like, devil entrance, I'd say, in the
Yeah, I
manga.
think the suspense, like even before, like she says, "Can I kill myself?" Because they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh God, we're in hell. Do you know what's in here? Can you feel like the presence around us? Like
Yeah.
these are like forget the gun devil. These presence, the presence of all these things around here, like they will just completely destroy you. Like, oh my God, it's approaching. He's coming this way.
Yeah.
Oh my God, can I kill myself? Please, can I kill myself? I really
Yeah.
don't want to see whatever this is." And then like after that Makima just shows up and just fucking levels the Darkness Devil.
Yeah.
She's like, "I will give you my all to like kill or to like defeat this person or whatever." And like,
Uh-huh.
I guess it doesn't mean anything from her because she has infinite bodies or seemingly infinite
Yeah.
bodies. So that's how she like does it. But yeah, like if they do, I mean, they are doing another like arc or whatever, and I think exploring like those really powerful entities in hell would be a great way to go about it. Because I feel like it'd be Denji looking for the
Power.
blood, yeah, looking for power and like the blood devil, and trying to like I don't know, either restoring the memories or like just befriending the new version of her, like he did with Nayuta, and like I'm sure this might be a bit later, and he'll have been caring for Nayuta for a bit. So yeah, I think him going to hell and like exploring that area would be a super cool for or continuation of the story. Um, yeah.
I really like
Yeah,
the
I
mechanic in the show for like I know you were talking about earlier about Makima's like quote unquote immortality. I like how like when a devil dies, like they're just reborn in hell, and if they die in hell, like they're
mhm,
reborn on Earth. I think that's like super fucking sick. And then when Power dies, she's reborn, and he can go out of his way to find her. And I really like how they have like explanations for like a lot of mechanics that animes take for granted, I guess. Like they put a lot of thought into that design choice, and it makes hell and earth seem a lot more connected, which is pretty cool.
mhm. I love how, like, a lot of the devils say, like, the last thing that they heard in hell before they died in hell and were reborn on Earth was, like, the sound of chainsaws, which is, like, super badass, but then it also, like it kind of makes sense because like, Chainsaw Man, by the end of it, is, like he's, like, a hero, right? And so, like, the way that you are a hero in hell is by, like, getting devils out of hell. Like, you gotta, like, cut them up and, like, kill them and shit. So, like, he's still a hero in hell, but he just does it by fucking ripping and tearing and cutting demons in half,
Yeah.
which is like, it makes sense that, like, something like that hell is, like, like, the dark and it's, like, dark and twisted and shit, so it makes sense that, like, that something that would not be heroic on Earth, like, basically the opposite of what is heroic on Earth is heroic in hell, which is, like, pretty cool and, like, also, like, I don't know, like, it makes Chainsaw Man being a hero, like, makes sense, I guess, you know?
Also, on the topic of him being the hero, I thought this was a very small scene, but it was a pretty gruesome scene, but also pretty cool. Like on Earth, when Chainsaw Man was fighting, and he's like in the streets, and like a whole bunch of bystanders come up and just be like, "Please drink my blood. Get strong, Chainsaw Man. You
Yeah.
need to
Yeah.
defeat them." I was like, "Holy moly, that's pretty hardcore."
Yeah. That was sick. Yeah, that was like, that was great. When they,
um,
like, are, like, giving him their blood.
I was confused though. I mean, I do like the idea of like them being reborn, but also like they made like a point to say like when he eats the devil, like the name of that devil ceases to exist. And like he eats Makima, so why is Nayuta like a thing?
Does he eat her? Does he kill her?
Isn't he like literally like cooking her at one point?
Yeah, he eats her. Like, he turns her into, like, a bunch of different foods, like miso soup and, like,
Yeah, exactly.
sashimi and shit, and then he
So
Oh,
eats
I did
Makima.
not pick up on that at all. Holy cow.
yeah.
I think because that's
Uh
when my I was saying this way, my panels kind of got messed up on the set I was watching because it came out of order. I'm like, oh, he's just eating a big meal before he goes and fights Makima.
so yeah,
No,
maybe
no, no,
I'm
yeah,
like
that was after.
Okay,
wrong,
that
like
makes a lot more sense.
I might be misinterpreting what that meant by like when he eats them, their name ceases to exist. But like, it seems like Makima, like she doesn't have her memories or anything, and she's still the domination devil. Or maybe like it's
Mhm.
she would keep her memories if he didn't eat her. I don't know.
Yeah, it actually doesn't really make sense to me why Makima would come back because, like, yeah, I didn't really think about that
Or
because
why the
before I was just
domination devil
thinking
would come back.
yeah, because before I was thinking like, okay, he can either kill someone and not eat them, and then they respawn in the other, whether it's hell or earth, and then or he can just eat them, and then they don't, and then they like don't like that concept is gone forever. So yeah, I don't know. Like it kind of seemed like this was something that like wasn't really explained that much. Was like Makima's specific relationship with the Chainsaw Devil, like, before he was Denji, because, like, she like, with the whole thing with, like, him eating concepts and then they're gone, which is, like, pretty crazy, like, I love how, like, Makima is, like, talking to Kishibe, who's, like, their master, who's, like and she's like, "Yeah, so, like, do you know about AIDS? Do you know about the
Oh yeah,
Nazis?
that was super
Do you know
cool.
about the atomic bomb?" And these are all things that are, like, scarier than guns. but, like and he's like, "What are you talking about?" And she's like,
So
"Yeah,
the
Chainsaw Man,
Holocaust is
like,
what you mean.
those things used to exist, and now they don't because because Denji killed and ate their devils." And then she also, like, brings up things that, like, don't exist in our world. She's like, the 4 fates that could await humans after life instead of death, like, those are gone. And, like, there's, like, a star where, like, if you look at the star, it would break children's minds or something like that, and that's gone too because Denji ate it. So, like, that was, like, super cool and, like, pretty I mean, it doesn't really I don't really understand, like, why specifically the Chainsaw Devil would have that power to, like, consume things and then, like, be like, them not exist anymore. But, like, it's fine because like, he's, like, the protagonist of the story, so I don't really care that much. But I didn't like, what I would've liked is, like, an explanation for, like, why she remembered those things, you know? Because, like, she, like, had to, like, remember them to, like, explain to Kishibe and to the reader that, like, they weren't here anymore. And, like, she said that she'd, like, witnessed the battles, like, is that really enough to, I don't know, and then, maybe it's something to do with, like, for her, like, coming back even with, Denji eating her, so I don't know. Like, that wasn't really explained that much, and
Yeah,
I would've
that's a
liked
good
more.
point. She
But,
was
I do
I thought
think
it was
that'd be
cool.
like if they do end up like going to hell in the next arc, I do think that that would be a pretty cool, like a pretty good opportunity, especially if Naruto like tags along with Denji to go to hell, and that'd be a pretty good, interesting exploration. And maybe they see a devil down there that's like, oh shit, that's the domination devil, and like give some backstory on like Denji and Makima's old relationship. Yeah, pretty interesting. It's definitely a lot of area to grow, and I'm interested to see where they go with it. But I'm also hesitant because, like, overall, I really like how concise the story is. So
Mhm.
obviously, like, it's logical to be scared because if you do more and it's not as good, like, that's the
Yeah.
reputation you're gonna live by. So I'm
Exactly,
I'm
yeah.
hopeful, but also a little hesitant.
maybe
Yeah.
maybe the like Makima like is dies like when when she's eaten like she's gone, but like a new domination devil is born with like a different
But like,
personality.
but
But
like
that
the
would be exactly the same as if he just killed her, you know?
yeah.
Because that's how,
So like,
Yeah,
Power died, like, she was Chainsaw
yeah,
Man,
but
and
she's
basically came
still gonna be power, right?
no, I don't
I
think
don't
she
think
will.
so.
They made a
'Cause
point like
she said, "I won't be me anymore," like, I won't so and there are, like, other times where, like, devils, like, can't remember their memories before, like, from when they were killed, from before they were killed. So I don't
Okay,
think that Power will be Power. Like, I think that it'll be the Blood Devil, but it won't, like, have any of Power's memories, and it could be, like, a completely different character, I
yeah,
think.
power makes a point to say like when you see the blood devil again, it won't be me, but I want you to make like be friends with the blood devil, no matter who it is. They may not have my
Mhm.
memories, but I want you to be friends with them. So,
Yeah.
gotcha.
um,
So,
Well, it makes
the
sense
Blood
that
Devil
it
could
doesn't
even
make
be the
sense.
villain of the next arc
True.
because it
yeah.
won't be Power.
Um, I mean, if we're looking for another topic to talk about, I would like to say uh expectations for the anime because it has been announced. I've talked about this a little with Kyle, and we both agree like please not a lot of CGI and please no CGI Chainsaw Man. Like holy shit,
That
that'd be
would be so
horrible.
sad.
Yeah, that would
I
ruin
think
it.
that that's gonna happen, though. Like, I feel like if yeah, I would if I had to put money on it, I would definitely put money on
Really,
CGI
you're
Chainsaw.
that confident it's gonna be CGI Chainsaw Man?
I
Oh
mean,
my
I think
god,
that there's a greater than 50% chance that it's gonna be CGI Chainsaw Man.
Did
Yeah.
they announce what studio is doing it?
it's Mappa.
Mappa?
Oh shit! They're doing a CGI fest right now with Attack on Titan,
Yeah.
but they're
I
kind of
mean,
have to. They kind of
but
have
also
to.
Jujutsu Kaisen is they're doing that, and apparently the animation for that is kick ass.
Yeah,
So
no, I've seen, like, some episodes of Jujutsu Kaisen, and the animation is good. So, like, if it's, like, on that quality, then I would be happy, but also Chainsaw Man is a very, like, I don't know, I feel like him as a character is, like, more complicated than, like, any of the characters in Jujutsu Kaisen, just because, like, he's got, like, he's got the fucking chainsaws and they're whirring all the time, like, I don't know, I worry.
yeah, there's a
I
lot of
just feel
moving
like it's gonna
parts.
be like a Goblin Slayer, like, probably won't be as bad, but I feel like there's just, like, how can you have the main protagonist be CGI? I guess it's not like, you know, he's only Chainsaw Man for, like, some parts, but I just, like I feel like that'll be even more justification for them to be like, "Oh, well, those parts will just be the CGI parts," and it's like, "No, those best. You know, like those are the ones where I want the most animation to be. You know, so we'll see. But also like Fujimoto did say in like the end of the manga that he was like excited that Mappa was doing it. So I mean, he could just be like shilling, but also, I don't know. I feel like he could be actually
Red
excited
pilling.
about it. And the fact that he's excited about it makes me a little bit more excited about it.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Um,
I'll
also,
reread the manga when a color comes out, a colored manga for sure. That's definitely something that I plan to do. Hopefully before the anime comes out as well.
I think the anime coming out pretty soon. Within the year
I think
for
it's this
sure.
year. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't take that long to color some pages. You know what I mean?
I mean, it hasn't
Yeah,
happened
you should
yet,
do it.
so.
Yeah.
Another thing, I think 2 seasons would work best to cover this. 24 episode seasons probably would be a good amount. I feel like cramming it into 1 season would be horrible, and
Hmm.
I think 24 episodes for basically 100 chapters is pretty good. I mean, a lot of the times it's what 2 chapters uh per per episode for a manga to anime adaptation. So yeah, right around
Hmm.
50 chapters per or 50 episodes per 100 chapters is I think that would work out pretty well. I'm not sure
Yeah.
exactly where that season 1 and season 2 would be, but um that would be my
Hmm.
expectation would be.
Maybe after
I
the Reze arc, like after,
Really?
because I feel like
Wait,
that
is
was like right around the 50, or maybe was that 40 something? I don't know.
yeah.
I could see a couple movies being thrown in there. Be okay with
I'd
that.
be yeah. I feel like the let's see. What are like the shorter kind of like the Reze arc is shorter. That's only like I don't know, maybe like 10
The
chapters maybe.
hotel arc, pretty short.
Yeah, yeah, but there's
It's
also
also
like
really early, so
Yeah,
it's
that's
really
too
not.
early. They could
yeah,
just do
and
a
also there's like not
conclusion.
a lot of like super crazy action in that.
I feel
So I
like
feel like they wouldn't put that in.
could the Hitman arc be one? That's kind of late, but also like it's a
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
concise arc.
Yeah, it could be. I just feel like it's too much. Like, I feel like it's the best
yeah. That's what I'm
candidate.
worried about it being too complicated because like the that's kind of what I love about that arc is like just like how much insanity and like it's kind of hard to follow just because it's happening like almost too fast. And I feel like if they tried to put it in a movie, it might be like too fast. But I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe they could just
Uh,
do a movie for the final few chapters. Could do
Yeah, I
that.
could see that for like the final battle with Makima. Like maybe the last season of the anime could end after the resolution of like the Gun Devil thing. With Aki
Hmm.
yeah, the battle
after
Hmm.
with
Aki
Aki.
dies,
Yeah, yeah,
and then
definitely.
we start the movie with depressed Denji. Yeah, I could see that.
Press D. Press
Just like
Dingy.
end of Evangelion starts with depressed Shinji.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, was there anything else you guys want to talk about? It's a pretty. There's a lot going on here, so we might have missed something.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like my favorite stuff. I feel like we talked about
Is it
the
favorite
Cosmo
character?
Devil. Oh,
I'd say Power
I
for
don't
me.
know. Like honestly, yeah, probably either Power or Denji. Like I think Denji's a great protagonist. Yeah, I mean, he's just like it just goes to show like no matter what your goal is, like if you are a protagonist with a goal, like I will like you probably.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I honestly am leaning actually a little bit Denji just because of like how he has absolutely nothing and he's just like a newborn baby
yeah.
walking the streets
I
and
love
he's
his
just like
attitude like that. Yeah, how he's just like everything is like because he's so used to shit. Like in the smallest good thing is like he's on top of the world. I love that about Denji.
dude,
I'd say
dumb
So
honorable
yeah,
mention for me is Beam for sure.
Beam, yeah. Dude, dumb MCs are hot right now. I've got to say that. Simple-minded ones that have one goal, they're hot right now.
Wait, who else is there?
Oh, I mean, I for big ones, you could say Denji, obviously. You could say Gon from Hunter x
I feel
Hunter
like
is a
like
great
it's
one.
pretty. I feel like it's pretty common for shonen protagonists to be dumb.
I feel like Gon is more naive than dumb.
Black Clover, the MC is definitely very similar to
I
both
mean,
of these.
Naruto is dumb. Like I
Yeah.
feel like pretty much
Well,
like most
I
of them
mean,
are.
like, there's more complicated MCs, like fucking, let's see, like, Death Note is one. I know it's not a shonen, but Death Note is definitely a more
It's
complicated one. What's the shonen? Ooh, Code Geass, definitely a more complicated MC whose, like, entire
Well,
thing
yeah,
is
but
being
I mean, like
smart.
I don't know. I don't think it's like I don't know if it's a trend right now. I feel like it's always been a trend.
That's fair. I
Dumb
don't know.
MCs.
I feel like some of my favorite shows have dumb MCs. Can I say that?
Yeah. I mean, I
Not
kind
allowed.
of
Like what's his name from Samurai Champloo?
John
Mugen.
Champ.
Mugen for sure. Mugen is like one of my favorite MCs. No pun intended, because he kind of dances to hip hop sometimes. Maybe he raps too. You never know.
Nice.
Anyway, if there's nothing else, then I think we're done.
Are we gonna rate it?
Wait, do we
or-
want to do favorite devils?
Oh,
Favorite
okay, yeah,
Devil?
let's do that real quick. What do you think?
I think it's Future Devil for me. I mean, if we're doing like pure devils that we've seen, Future Devils there. If we're doing Devil Men, then like I said, Beam is pretty good, but also I like Violence a lot.
Yeah, if we're including Devilman, probably Cosmo.
Cosmo's
I
cool.
mean, I'm
yeah.
not including because Power's a Devilman, but I'm not including Power because she's just
Yeah,
like
yeah,
too
I
main of a
agree.
character.
I
Um,
I like the aesthetic of the Sword Devil a lot. I thought he was really cool with like the visor was just like a blade. I thought that was really cool looking.
yeah, I like how he's like a mirror image to Denji. Like
Yeah.
how like he's basically Denji, except instead of chainsaws,
Except for
he's got
worse.
swords.
And he's doesn't have the ability to wipe the concept of something off the face of the earth.
Yeah, not quite as good. Not literally the embodiment of chaos like Kenji or like Denji is.
Okay, yeah, I'd probably go with him. I mean, in terms of power, I don't know. They're all pretty complicated. I do like the Future Devil though. Like he definitely had the best attitude for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah. If we're doing devils and then devilmen in separate categories, probably Cosmo for Devilman, and then honestly, like,
Oh yeah, I guess they're like separate. Whatever. I'm gonna put them in one.
maybe the Darkness Devil for my favorite, just because like he had such a huge impact and he like
Such a
took
cool
everyone's arms.
design too.
Yeah, yeah. His entrance was
It's like a
fucking sick.
totem pole of heads.
Yeah, yeah. And the fucking yeah, just like the cut up astronauts and shit. So cool.
If we're doing best girl, I'm leaning Power, but I also got to say Reese is kind of fine.
I'd say it's
No, for me
power.
it's Power.
It's power.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, it's power. I'm sorry.
I
Reese
feel
is fine
a lot
for
of
sure.
people. I've seen a lot of people that are like Reze Sims online
I've seen
that
a
are
lot of
like
Kobeni Sims. Or
oh yeah,
Kobeni Sims.
Kobeni's pretty great too.
Kobeni
Yeah.
we didn't talk about her a lot, but like her comedic relief is so good.
Yeah,
Oh.
Kobeni. Yeah, I love how she's just like how like basically like the entire time they're just like only the insane people are like the ones who make it and like I love how just Kobeni like is one of those people who makes it to the end.
Plus the whole scene with her like playing DDR and
Yeah. Why am I
Yeah.
tripping to deliver the burger not once but twice.
Yeah.
Getting people killed because of it, and she's just like bawling, like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, we kind of talked about that scene before, but I really love how like they do this like they like introduce like the burger place where they do like this like jingle where they like each have their own part and they're
Yeah.
like naming the parts of the burger, and then like after Denji kills a guy, they have the exact same paneling except it'll just have like when it comes for the dead guy to say his part, they'll just show his dead body.
Yeah, that was great.
That's so good.
That might be
It was,
one of my favorite scenes in a manga, just like period.
That probably was my favorite scene in the whole manga.
That was so
yeah,
funny.
that was
How
so good. Like
ridiculous it
just
was
like
in the middle of a fight scene to have that scene.
yeah, so good.
I like the way he said hamburger too. He was like van va va va.
Yeah. Oh, also, I love how like the store owner is like berating Kobeni at the beginning, and he just slaps her, and he's like, "That was a familial slap."
Yeah, that was pretty good. No, every time you want to say you'll feel the pain.
Yeah, remember that pain.
This was funny. God, what a good read.
Yeah, what a fucking great manga.
I'm gonna have to reread it though. I feel like so much shit went over my head, but there's just so much going on in this shit.
Oh yeah, it's like so fast paced. Like honestly, I feel like in terms of like the actual story itself is like not that like the structure is not like it's basically just like a normal manga structure except like sped up. I feel like a lot of it is like touches on a lot of the same beats that you'll get in like a lot of different shonen stories where you have like the main character has like some deep power hidden within him that he like needs to like learn to unlock, and there's like training arcs and shit. Um, and like honestly, the whole like the Hitmen arc where everyone's trying to kill Denji is basically like the Chimera Ant arc, except done in like like a quarter of the time because there's just like there's so many different factions and everything hits the fan. And yeah, like so I feel like it's just like really like the most inventive thing about the manga is just like the concepts are like really cool and like fun and interesting, and the characters are really likable, and it's just really fucking fast, so it's like throwing new shit at you all the time, so you're always entertained. Yeah,
uh,
it's fucking great.
like just even like that discussion we had about like what Chainsaw Man's power like actually can do, like the concept of wiping out another concept,
Uh-huh.
like that was explained in like a couple panels, and then it was never really
Yeah.
brought up again. And it's like if you didn't weren't paying attention, and if you just really like what the fuck, like this is a pretty big deal. And
Yeah.
they touched on it, and even the other guy in the conversation, he's like, "I don't have time for such complicated things to talk about."
Yeah, he's like, I literally don't know what you're talking about. Like, you're just listing off a bunch of shit that I've never heard of before. Yeah.
Anyway, do you guys want to do ratings?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would probably give this like a strong 9. Like, I loved damn near everything about this. It's like not perfect, but I loved almost everything about it. So many likable characters. Like, I loved just seeing them interact with each other. Like, they had great dynamics with each other, especially Denji and Power. Um, and like super cool devil designs, and like some crazy fucking concepts behind some of the devils. And like just so many great moments in this manga that it's like crazy that it's only 97 chapters. And yeah, I love how just like it goes at a breakneck speed, so you're always getting new shit. Yeah, fucking great manga. Yeah, strong 9.
I'd probably also give it.
Yeah, go ahead,
Oh,
Will.
sorry. I'd say like between a 9 and a 9.5. Like you said, it's like a pretty fantastic manga. I'd say maybe it lacks a little depth to truly get it to like a 10. Like just like the characters do have depth, don't get me wrong, but like maybe a little bit more, and like that could be something that's explored a bit later, and like I don't know, something that made me feel a bit more attached to them, because a lot of them are comedically like die pretty early, or aren't explored too much just because they die
Mhm.
so fast. So yeah, maybe a bit more at that would truly get it to like a 10, but I'd say like
Yeah.
yeah, I'd say a strong 9.
I'm gonna have to give this one a placeholder 9. I'm gonna have to read it again. Hopefully, the colored version. Um, just manga score alone. Anime, I have no idea. Probably be pretty solid though. Probably not as good as the manga, just because like I don't know. I feel like it's kind of a recurring theme where I feel like the anime translated. I mean, the anime has been having some issues with translations just because of CGI and budgets. Maybe that's just because I've been spending so much time thinking about Attack on Titan, but we'll see. Yeah, I mean, like it's just like so much fun to read this. Like the dialogue
Yeah.
is like I couldn't ask for better dialogue in a manga. Like this person like perfectly understands my sense of humor. Like just the tonal shifts of like we're going to serious to jokes to back to serious to we're gonna explain a couple things real quick. Okay, back to messing with my emotions and showing me cool stuff. And some of the art I think was a little messy, but I think that kind of goes with the style overall. And all the characters are super likable. I mean, I couldn't go lower than a 9 just because of like the pure amount of enjoyment you get from chapter to chapter. You can't really find this in a lot of other places. Most manga or anime take a lot of development, and there's always going to be a couple like lacking characters, Connie and Attack on Titan, that just like kind of gets left.
Talking about Chainsaw Man, you just
Connie is never safe.
You know what I mean?
You think not an episode about Attack on Titan? You're fucking wrong, Connie.
It's fucked up.
You know what I mean, though? Like, I feel like a lot of times characters get left behind, and like this manga actively acknowledges that characters are going to get left behind, and you don't need to care about them. And to have that kind of confidence in your writing, says a lot. So yeah, easily a 9.
And it's
Probably gonna
also
go
when they're
higher.
left behind, it's like they're killed, you know? So it's
Yeah.
like it's not like they're being like left alive for no reason, you know? Like they're like I'd much rather have a character who's like killed and then like you're like, all right, I don't need to worry about that character anymore, rather than like be like, oh wow, like are they ever gonna do anything with Connie? You know, like because you know if Connie was dead, I wouldn't have that question in my mind. But yeah,
And
yeah.
I just say one more
But
thing.
also, like, it's kind of a
Go ahead.
double-edged sword because if you kill too many characters, then you're like, should I care about any of the characters? Like, if everyone's just gonna die? But I definitely did care about like this manga does such a good job of like making you know who the important characters are and making you care about them extremely quick. Like we would like pretty much all of us went from like not liking Power because she was like a dick to Denji to like liking her within the span of a few chapters. So like the fact that the manga is able to sell you on its characters so fast is just like so fucking good.
Yeah, I completely agree. And alongside with I think the dialogue being like, basically perfect. I think like some of the creativity that they chose and like some power designs and just like explaining elements of like the lore or some of the devils basically and like what their powers can do and like how it relates to hell and earth or whatever. Really good, really solid. They explained
Yeah.
a lot and with sometimes they'd be quick, but they did it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that's it.
Yep.
Follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Spotify. One day we'll have a Twitch with our official name, Anime Soiree. Probably soon. Probably the next week. We should probably do that, Will.
Conga.
All right.
Yeah.
Peace.
See you in
Peace.
the next one. Nice.